Hey, truth seekers, ever wonder if those enchanting childhood stories were actually a bit messed up? We grew up with tales of princesses, princes, and the promise of happily ever after. But what if beneath the magic lies a darker psychological pattern? Today, we're diving into the hidden truths and dark psychology lurking in your favorite fairy tales. This isn't about ruining memories. It's about seeing these stories with a critical eye. We'll explore codependency, unhealthy relationships, and why happily ever after might be the most damaging lie of all. Get ready to question the heroes, reevaluate the heroines, and rethink the idea of fairy tale romance. Let's unmask the hidden truths and see these classics in a whole new light. Let's talk codependency, a relationship where one person's self-worth depends entirely on another. Sound familiar? Cinderella waits for rescue, her value defined by being chosen, not by her own actions. Sleeping Beauty is literally passive, her fate sealed until a man awakens her. These stories glorify waiting for a savior, not self-empowerment. Snow White finds purpose only by serving others. Belle sacrifices herself and falls for her captor. The message: losing yourself and seeking external validation is romantic. These aren't just stories, they're blueprints for unhealthy relationships. Codependency is presented as an ideal, not a problem. It's time to see these tales for what they really teach. Why dissect these stories now? Because they've shaped our ideas of love and relationships for generations. Princes rescue, princesses wait, roles we're taught to emulate. Internalizing these scripts leads to disappointment and dysfunction. We wait for someone to complete us, mistaking sacrifice for love. The happily ever after myth ignores the real work of relationships. By understanding codependency, we see how these tales set us up for unhealthy patterns. Our goal: challenge these outdated scripts and reclaim our own narratives. Let's write new stories based on equality, self-worth, and real connection. Fairy tales promise that love is effortless once you find the one. The story ends at the wedding, skipping the real work of partnership. Real relationships are messy, evolving, and require effort. The fairy tale illusion sets us up to see conflict as failure. Cinderella never faces real-life challenges. Sleeping Beauty wakes to a stranger. We measure our lives against a flawless, fictional standard. The myth whispers, if it's hard, it's not true love. Believing this blinds us to the beauty of real, imperfect relationships. Fairy tales glorify passivity, especially in heroines. Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, all rewarded for waiting, not acting. The message: endure suffering, be beautiful, and wait for rescue. This is codependency, outsourcing happiness and self-worth to someone else. The heroine is a blank slate, defined by her rescuer. Dependency is romanticized, creating power imbalances from the start. We're taught to wait for a magic fix, not to solve our own problems. This fantasy leads to learned helplessness and tolerating the intolerable. It's time to build our own ladders and climb out of the tower. Expecting real life to mirror fairy tales leads to disappointment. When reality falls short, we blame ourselves or our partners. The happily ever after myth leaves no room for the ordinary or difficult. Real love is happy for now, requiring effort and commitment. Comparing our lives to fairy tales erodes gratitude and contentment. We judge real partners against fictional perfection. Internalizing these ideals breeds inadequacy and self-doubt. The cruelest lie: chasing an illusion instead of building a real, imperfect life. What's fascinating is that the romanticized interpretation of fairy tales is a modern distortion. The original stories collected by the Brothers Grimm were darker and more complex. These tales were psychological maps of our deepest fears and shadow selves. Through 20th century adaptations, the core message became twisted. Narratives were repackaged as love stories, shifting the focus to a wealthy spouse. This is where the dark psychology takes root in our cultural consciousness. We internalize unhealthy patterns as desirable goals. We need to rediscover the original intent and see them as psychological explorations.